then it went up to 37, and now they're at 40. That
Mhm.
$3 price point is nothing to me if you're gonna
Nothing.
give me this, you know.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Collecting Brothers, and welcome to our Legion's Con reveal breakdown. I'm excited about this, man. This, of course, is the 25th anniversary of Four Horsemen Studios, as well as 10-year anniversary of the Mythic Legions line. And so, kind of a big deal. It's a double anniversary. Very rare that that happens. Or, it takes a while before that happens, right? But yeah, no, we'll go ahead and talk about the reveals that they did. And it is, of course, called the Reign of the Beasts. So we can expect some beasts here. And friends, I watched the 4.5 hour live stream twice for you guys. Okay, I watched it twice just so that I made sure that all my facts are straight and I kind of understand what's going on here for you. So thank you for joining us again with the Collecting Brothers here. We're breaking down the new Mythic Legions Wave Reign of the Beasts. Let's go ahead and get started, Josh. First up here, Basilia. This is one of the original, like the four gods that exist in mythos. Basilia is, of course, as the logo shows, right? The logo is a snake with wings and some type of crown here. But here we're going back to the first age of mythos. This is back when the four horsemen were first coming up. This is the first age, kind of like I kind of like attribute it to like Lord of the Rings, right? Like you have the first age, second age, third age, all that fun stuff. And so this is going back to the first age of mythos, and here we have Basilia. Josh, what are you thinking? I
All right,
love
we've
hearing you.
seen kind of like that's what's always kind of cool with Mythic Legions is because they've had just the bios, everything's kind of been like shrouded in mist, and you hear about characters randomly and you don't ever see them. You might see them years later, right? And just to get the feathered serpent, dude,
Oh,
Gun, dude. And then on
Kukan.
top of that, it's 100% like new mold, right? Even the
Yes.
arms are not reused just because they have to get the ceiling in there.
Yeah,
Now,
Basilia is 100% new sculpt.
yeah.
Arms, torso, chest, wings are new. Like those are not from their old
Mhm.
wings stuff that they've done. Her lower half, everything is new on Basilia.
Right. The only thing I'm seeing that's reuse is the staff, but that's about it. Everything else, 100% new.
That topper is new, right? Like yes, the effect is something they have, but that topper is new.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, it looks super similar. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
you tell me.
I
You
know,
got
but you're probably right. Like, you're probably right. And it makes sense because they probably want to make like the cohesion between the staffs, like have them look similar, but still be different from one another, right?
right.
But yeah, it's just an amazing figure just because I think the newness. I think sometimes when it comes to Mythic Legions, it can kind of get a little bit mundane. Sometimes just with like buying the same figure, just with a
Yeah,
different paint apps, maybe a new helmet, a new weapon, right? And so just getting something so unique, so new,
yeah.
something I didn't really expect, really, it just like brings new life to the line and new life, I think, to collectors who've been collecting this line for a long time. It gets me excited.
And you're 100% right, man. People, when they were like kind of, Reign of the Beast, when they were teasing it, people were like, okay, we'll probably get like, like some type of beast of Leonidas. We'll probably get another reversion of Aether and what's Xylonia, right? But then people were like, they were like doubting, like, do we get a snake with wings? And they're like, no, that's not going to happen. But they did it, dude. They did a Mesoamerican, Quetzalcoatl, because that's her race. Her race is the Quaddle. I love that they're pulling from directly from Mesoamerica, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incan. They're pulling from that and calling the race Quaddles. But Sorcerer's Goddess here, bet $45 here for this figure, man. It's incredible, man. And of course, with it being Mythic Legions, the torso is going to be swappable, right? You got a joint there that you can pop that off, put it on a 2.0 body, and you got a whole nother figure, right?
Yeah, like you guys can have this idea, but dude, I'm thinking like to fit this some sort of in like myth, like make it like a Mythic Legions type character. No, it's Cosmic Legions, excuse me, type character. Or like swapping it, making it almost like a slug alien. Maybe
Yeah.
sanding down the scales and just making like a worm slug type alien type creature.
I
With
mean, we
some
got that
armor.
Scorpion character.
Yeah, Embira Jamira,
Yeah.
dude. I freaking love
Yeah.
that name. But no, it's so cool, especially like when you talked about the lore with the first age,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to, like you said, these ancient South American cultures, Aztec, Inca, Maya. It's kind of crazy that they all, they've lived separately, right? And at different times, different eras of time on Earth,
Yeah, yeah.
but they all have the same kind of legend
Deities, yeah.
of a feathered serpent. It's
Mhm.
really weird, man. Like it's crazy, man. Like they have like because we're from Peru, right? And my dad
Yeah.
would tell me about this story that the Incans believed that these two serpent-like creatures came from the water, and then they named who was it?
Inti?
No,
Chucha?
no, Tupac is
Okay.
named after the feather serpent god. And so, but what's crazy too is he kind of like lived up to his name because then he became an actual like, resistance fighter against like the Spanish
Right,
colonization. But
the invaders,
yeah, and
the
so
colonizers.
cool, man. Just cool. I think just for especially for us, I think for
Yeah.
all Hispanic cultures that
Oh,
are going to
dude.
be
Yeah.
familiar with feather serpent and this mythology, man, they knocked it out of the park with this. And it even got like that, that parrot feather, like rainforest parrot.
Yeah, the colors are spot on, man. The chunkiness of the headdress and the armor, like that's something specific to Mesoamerican culture and mythology, is that like that chunkiness of it. It's not streamlined, it's thicker. And I think they did a really good job. But yeah, man, this figure, the upper torso, or so the lower torso, that, or sorry, the legs, whatever the hell that is, but it's articulated, as well as the lower half is articulated, and it ends with a bendy wire tail. I mean,
Cool. What more
it's
could you ask for?
I know, right? Like, what more could you ask for with this goddess here of
I mean, the
the
only thing I
portal
could think
goddess?
of I could ask for is like Legion's Con exclusives Mark Zuckerberg figure. That's it to go along with this. That's it.
Hail to Zuck. You're about to get zucked. All right. But yeah, no, there is Basilia, man, and she looks good. Again, 100% new sculpt on her and looking good. But if you got Basilia, you got to give yourself some Serpent Spire Royal Guards. So again, taking it back to that first age, man, continuing that Mesoamerican vibe, we got some of her guards here. Basilia was 45, as well as this figure is also going to be 45. It's a variation of Basilia. There's a quick race. Sorry, there's a quick bio there for her. Again, the race is Quaddle. It's a soldier, and man, they're just reusing that body. Now, the uppers on this is Oleg Thygar, and they were saying on the live stream, like, when they made that Oleg Thygar figure, they had already plans to do these serpent reptile figures. And so, I mean, what better use, man?
Right. And to be honest, like it makes a lot of sense. It's actually when you think about it, you know how sometimes where companies will reach and they'll try to make a sculpt work for a new figure.
Mm-hmm.
But with you saying that, it's more like the opposite, where this sculpt was actually dedicated for this character, and Oleg Thygar
Became,
was the reach. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oleg
yeah.
Thygar was the reach, and this is actually the figure I think that it was made
They
for.
wanted to make, yeah.
Exactly. And it's just
Yeah.
kind of funny now because it's like it's actually so smart to do the reach first and then the other one, the one you intended to do second, because then it's like it's not a reach because now it's like, oh my gosh, this actually fits better than the
Right.
original figure.
Right.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is such a genius move by them. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$45 on this one as well. We also using some of the native from Cosmic Legions, like that hit piece, the hit, the
Right.
that's reused from Cosmic as well. So like
Yeah, from
these,
the
I can't
what
remember
are they
what they're
called?
called, but yeah, those natives, the
Yeah.
Tharks. But yeah, a little bit of soft goods too as well on this figure here. You get the feather thing on the shield, which is a reuse from a dwarven shield, which it still works again because the Mesoamerican iconography is chunkier. It does work, and of course you get the feathers, man. Like, it is just such an ornate figure, and then the weapons, of course, are very specific to the Mesoamericans as well. So.
Yeah, dude. Like I love that you can take off the headdress and you get those
Mm.
weapons because then I feel like you could bust this on, dude. Bust this on your what's the characters from Black Panther name?
Oh, Namor.
Dude, yeah, you get your Marvel Legends Namor
Shoo.
for Black Panther 2, put that headdress on. I bet it would fit
Yeah,
and it would
they
look
call
sick,
him
man. Yeah.
Kukan. Yeah, no, I agree. And also, I do want to shout out Four Horsemen here. Instead of like giving us articulated jaws, which a lot of people might think, yeah, that's like the better move. That's something that we want. They kind of shy away from that. They're going with two separate head sculpts to show the different expressions within a closed mouth and an open mouth expression, right? Like, if you had to do an open, a hinged jaw on this figure, you wouldn't get the fangs, you wouldn't get like the scrunching of the face, but they like that, and so they throw in the separate head sculpt of open and closed mouth, man.
Right. Yeah, I think normally they do job. I just think it's the fangs. would be impossible. Like there wouldn't even be an option for it to be an open and closed.
Yeah, because the way the fangs work within a snake,
Exactly.
right? But yeah, man, I am really digging the whole Mesoamerican vibes, man, and we'll see what other figures they do. Quick, just a quick side note: when do we get Medusa? Figure obscura Medusa, right? We got the snake body here. We got the female snake body. Swap out the head, swap out the wings. You got a Medusa, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
definitely.
know. We'll see.
And even not even like it would even just work with Mythic Legions, you know. That's
That's
just
true. Yeah,
fantasy, man. It's perfect figure obscura, yeah.
that's true. All right, again, yeah, 45 bucks there for this figure. It looks great here. Let's keep it going here though. We have Janam. This is part of the Poxus wave here, and it's another one of those gins. The genies. We got one before, but this is a separate version of him, and this is more of a demon-esque version of him, which gins are technically demons in their lore. It wasn't until they were Americanized that they became genies and granted wishes and stuff. But yeah, man, 50 bucks here for this deluxe figure. Here's a quick bio on him. He's an Ifriti, and he's also a brute scale figure here. So he's a big boy. What are you thinking, Josh?
Do you know how much is this?
It's gonna be 50. And
50, right?
you do
Because you
get
get
both
the
lowers.
legs.
Yeah, you
Right.
get
Yeah,
lower.
you gotta get the legs. Yeah. Because if it was just the smoke with the genie lamp, you'd be
It's
like,
a
what the
cannonball.
it's cool, but it's yeah, it's the cannonball. It's like the cannonball. Like we love cannonball, but what the heck's going on? You know, you want the effect plus the legs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
great job doing both. Yeah, I mean it looks phenomenal. I think these genie characters are coming out great, and the catalog is building up, and the horns are super intricate. And look at
Yeah.
look at the shoulder. Honestly, the shoulder pauldrons is where the money's at, man. Those shoulder pauldrons are beautiful.
That
Like I
bronze.
no, oh yeah, that's really good. I'm looking more at the sculpt, like the
Yeah.
spikiness of it, just like the artistic
It's
lines going
almost like
on,
it's like smokish, like it's flowing like
right?
flames.
From the
Yeah.
lamp. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it spot on.
A cool thing too on this one is that smoke is articulated as well. So where it meets the bottom here, the base, you can articulate that.
What the heck? That is so cool. Okay.
So there we go, Janam. In regards to that, Infriti friends here, man, it's a cool, man. I just love the worlds that they've kind of opened up to themselves and continue to, right? Like they just kind of, oh, we're doing gins now. Here's one gin, here's the second one. We'll see how far they go, right? And there's big lore there. All right, but there's everything you're getting here with Jin. These names are tricky, man. Jahan, no, Janam. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. All right, next up though, we're getting Araya of the
Raya.
Araya. I can't remember the Talon Bearer. Ooh, what do we got here? We got Shenlong, dude. We got Shenron. Dragon
Ooh,
confirmed.
we got Shenron and we got the guy from Forbidden Kingdom. Isn't that the guy with the leprosy from Forbidden Kingdom?
Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Kingdom of Heaven, dude. That's
He's
the
got
guy from Kingdom of
the
Heaven.
leper mask. Yeah, he's got the leper
And I
iron
know I won't
mask.
see 30.
Oh man, 50 bucks here for this figure, deluxe figure. We don't know the race. We just know it's a cultist, so someone who kind of like gets into the cults, the convocation. They introduced a lot of lore on these figures, man. A lot of new lore. This is the sect of Arazius. So again, building up that lore, which our boy Jeremy loves. But yeah, Talon Bearer, man. She's got this, or they have this big old staff with a big old talon on it. They got a little Shenron familiar, and they got that mask, that iron mask that I just love, dude.
Well, I think with the Shenron, I think it's like supposed to be like it's like a dragon claw, right? Like a dragon nail.
Right, yeah, the talon is like a dragon talon for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. This figure, once again, yeah, just knocked out of the park and just so fresh, so new. The intricacies on this is just going crazy, man. The soft
Mhm.
goods, the sculpt, and I love that like Kingdom of Heaven, face
Yeah,
mask.
yeah,
That
the
thing is
iron
sick.
mask. Yeah, man. And it is like a mask, because it's not supposed to emote or anything.
Right, because it's supposed to be like the unknown character. It's like who knows who this
Yeah,
is.
yeah, we don't know. But the soft goods from Sea Justice, man, knocking it out of the park as always. The base, the Shenron here does come with a little base to stand him up or to have him float or have them float. And that's really cool. I love that. And then they also have new gauntlets and like armbands, that are in that snake motif. So again, just and Shenron is articulated, so it's bendy wire.
Okay.
I love that, dude. Right, like there is like it's in 3 segments, but each segment is bendy wire. So that's really cool here of the Talon Bearer. Yeah, another great reveal, man. This is just the reign of the beasts. So they threw in a little beast here for you. So with the dragon. So dragon confirmed. Everyone can stop saying they want a dragon. We got the dragon that we needed here.
And it was like a dragon tamer kind of type character,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. Right, they have the Talon, right? They got the
Yeah.
Talon. So all right, let's get to some new stuff here. Technically all new stuff, but this one is new. This is Windaji the Cackler, or is it Windaji?
I don't know. Dude, they're going crazy with this.
I
Yeah,
know the
I
M
think you
is
said it
silent.
right. I think you said it right the first time. Sounded right
Okay,
to me. Legion of
Windaji,
Aether.
Windaji the Cackler, and this, get ready, dude. This is a 3.0 body. They have updated their articulation. They have updated their figures here to introduce a new buck, and they're calling it the 3.0 body. So it's a hyena, right? But man, oh man, am I in love with this hyena, dude. This thing is perfect for me. It's going to be a standard figure priced at 40. So we are seeing a little bit of an increase there here. The race is of the Null, and it's a hunter. Again, taking it back to the first age, it's kind of like reversed AWOC lore, where instead of humans turning into animals, it was animals turning into humans. I don't know. I just a little similarity I noticed. But yeah, like a lot of these first age characters are more like beasts, they're animals. And so here we have this hyena hunter that we got here. And again, double jointed knees, double jointed arms, and butterflies thrown in on this guy with the abdomen ball joint.
Right. And just perfect name for him, the Cackler. I love the lankiness and the proportions of him. This can work even like as like, we were talking about like we wanted like a lichen figure. We were talking with Jurassic Jesse about we wanted some lichens or werewolves. This can also work as a lichen or werewolf. And then beyond that, like, with that $3 price point, because right, normal figures are going, well, it used to be 35, then they went up to 37, and now they're at 40. That $3 price point is nothing to me if you're gonna give me this. If you're gonna give me butterflies, double elbows, double knees, amazing sculpt, all new sculpt with new type of body, like a furry body we've never gotten for, like the hind
those
legs
feet too. Yeah, the hind legs. Yeah,
the hind legs. Like $3, you're charging me $3 extra for that. That's money. And something I was thinking about. Yeah, that's easy, man, dude. Like I was thinking, who is like the best, independent toy company? And I was like, when I was like thinking about it, I was like, to be honest, when it comes to like sculpt, paint apps, I was like, but I had to factor in articulation. I was like, dude, I literally think Savage Crucible is taking like the cake. Like I when I got these Savage Crucible figures, I was like, I'm an articulation sucker, because everybody has their thing. Some people like more sculpt, some people more articulation. If I had to pick one, I would go with articulation. When I played with these, everything was there for me. The paint, the sculpt, the articulation was perfect for me with these Savage Crucible figures. And we got the images of these Savage Crucible figures like a couple of years ago. Like this took 2.5 years to get. So I'm wondering, I don't know, like maybe just competition pushing them. Like I think that the Four Horsemen Studios maybe saw Savage Crucible and were like, dude, these guys are kind of outperforming us, because the sculpt is probably on par with them, but their articulation is better than ours, 100%. And so that competition, that's why we need more competition, because it pushes people to go farther. And that's kind of always been people's kind of gripe with Mythic Legions and Cosmetic Legions. They're like, well, in this day and age, I want my figures to bend more than 90 degrees. I want more articulation than that. So, dude, this is like a new dawn for Mythic Legions. I cannot believe that we're finally getting double elbows. And I didn't even know about the butterflies. I thought I was satisfied with double knees and elbows. With the butterfly, holy crap, man!
And the abdomen, right? So not only do they have the ball at the hip, right, or at the lower stomach, but then they also threw in that abdomen, dude. And that is so much articulation, like you were saying, for just $3, and it's still compatible with your 1.0 figures. So you can pop these arms off and still plug them into a 1.0 torso, and you can upgrade your 1.0 torso figure to have double elbows. You can pop those legs off and pop them into a 1.0 figure, and again, upgrade your figures. Along with that, the cuts here on the torso, on the forearm, and then the lower calf are swappable and compatible with previous figures. So it's just insane like how well these guys think of compatibility and how much like that's just the heart of Four Horsemen, like making sure everything is swappable. Like, man, I love
Right.
these guys.
Yeah, even like just that because fur not gonna work for everybody, but the wraps can. The wraps you can put
Yeah,
on whoever you want. And so I
yeah.
can't wait till we get more 3.0 bodies because they for sure got to give us just like human flesh type 3.0
Mm-hmm.
body.
I mean, think about it. Like you get a armor torso, throw in the the hyena arms. That's fine. It reads fine. There's no
Yeah,
breakage of like
right,
skin and fur.
dude. We are gonna get. You can make a space dog, dude. I'm gonna make a space dog.
I know, dude. Honestly, that's like the first thing I did. I was watching this and I pulled up my Anubis and I was like, perfect. This is what I wanted. I want those hind legs. I want that lankiness for my like the Brendan Fraser mummy Anubis figures. And here it is, man. So Windaji the Cackler. 3.0 body, man. New. They said this is the most articulation they've ever put into a figure,
Right.
mainly because those doubles, butterflies, torso,
Or so.
and the feet, the hind legs, dude. That's huge.
No, dude. Yeah, this figure is a masterpiece for
Yeah,
$40. Masterpiece.
like yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's keep it going here. Next up here, the Golden Pride of Leandor. This is sick, dude. I love a good centurion, a good Roman centurion, a good Roman, soldier. And this is like perfect, dude. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Like when I saw this, I immediately thought of Rise, Son of Rome, right? Look at that thing, dude. The Golden Pride of Leonard. It's a soldier, so it's not a named character. In the bio here, they kind of talk about some more characters that they might be coming out here in this aesthetic. But dude, this is like the most perfect centurion I've ever seen.
Yeah, here we go. The 3.0 with the double elbows, the
Yep.
double knees. Like Mythic Legions has upped their level to a level now that I don't think I don't think there's a better toy line out there
They're here to
now.
play.
No,
They showed up.
like
They
you
showed
tell
up.
me money for quality. I don't think there's a better toy line than Mythic Legions right now.
Yeah,
They
$40. Again, we're seeing that increase in price, but the
screw it,
articulation,
dude. I don't give a crap.
but the articulation is there, right? We're getting the sandals on the feet. You get the double knees, double elbows. This one does not have butterflies because of the pauldrons and the shirt piece, but that's okay. But again, increasing their parts library to create these new figures and these 3.0s. And they did say that with the 3.0 molds that they have, they will be like kind of plugging and moving things around. So maybe a 3.0 has double elbows, it has double knees, but it might not have the butterfly and it might not have the ab crunch.
Right.
Right.
Things are gonna just because this sculpt's gonna get in the way anyways. Like honestly,
Exactly.
the butterfly with how big pauldrons are in Mythic Legions, butterfly's kind of not always functional. Even if you
Right.
added them, it'd be a waste.
But they have them to put them on figures that they could use them.
Yeah.
So
With this thing, I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna
okay,
say.
I'll jump into the next one. So like the fact also too that they're giving us two head sculpts, one a fully unmasked head, and I love the Roman haircut that they gave him. I love the Roman jawline that they're giving him, but they're also giving us a unhelmeted head that you can insert into the helmet to create that unmasked, right? Like again, this is gladiator vibes, having the lion head sculpt or the lion faceplate that kind of makes the helmet look more lionish because Leonidas, right? Leodicius. I love that they're doing that, man. And again, the shield too. I love the big shield that they give here. And if you look closely at that shield, it's the great beasts. You got Basilius the snake, you got Erythere's wings, you got the antlers of Xilonia, and of course in the center, Leodicius. Love that, dude. Love that
Well,
little detail.
well, no, I don't think that's it. That maybe the air because Arethyr is like the demon fire kind of. He's one of the four
Oh,
horsemen.
what's the wing? The eagle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The four beasts, right? So you got the snake, the antler, Xilonia, and then I can't. Man, I could be saying it wrong. Again, I'm not all that caught up on
Well, yeah, because Arethyr is he's one of the horsemen, and then
Okay, so the good eagle one. So it's the four great beasts on the shield, man. I love that they're carrying that motif through that, and you get all these hands. You don't have to worry about a hand pack, and then that 3.0 body, man.
that
This
Roman
is
sword, dude, came out
yeah.
perfect. The handle, I feel like that's how all the Roman handles look like. It's
Mm-hmm.
just reading everything like Roman soldier. And
It
this is just
is.
going to bring a lot of new fans because this can just like you said work as a Roman soldier, and it doesn't have to be for Mythic Legions. It can be
Mhm.
just you want to build up an army of Roman
Yeah.
fighters.
Like if you just like, that aesthetic, that vibe, here is a beautifully sculpted, beautifully detailed, and now highly articulated. I'm willing to put that onto these figures, man, with 3.0s. These are highly articulated figures now with the doubles on the knees and elbows, man. Yeah. This is nuts, man. You get a couple of these, you get a nice wall with the turtle shelling, that they do.
Yeah, it's on the top. Yeah.
So really, really cool here. All right, let's keep it going here. Next up, Leodicius. So we got Basilia, who was a goddess. Now we have Leodicius, the next, kind of the great beasts here that they did. Of course, this is the reign of the beast. And this guy is that lion, that lion character, the lion god that leads the armies of Leodicius into it here. And this guy's an ogre scale figure. He's $80. He is a big, big boy. He's a battle god, race lion. Here's a quick little bio on him here. But dude, look at that. That's a valiant knight.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see he's using like the same hammer
Oh
that
yeah, as Uzak.
Leo. Well, no, that Leo Odysseus uses in the actual Mythic
Oh,
Legions. So like, because Mythic Legions, when it first started, we have there's the actual like Leo Odysseus, and he leads the faction of the Lion Knights, and he uses that hammer. So we actually got that hammer before with him, and so now it's
oh,
kind of like, but he was a human, right?
the
They just kind of
OG,
like
the origins.
right, yeah, and so that means he's carrying the actual weapon of the god now that we see this. And I think another thing is just it's crazy how much they're expanding their library, because sometimes when we went to when we got the Valiant Knight, that's what we got. Like that was the big reveal. Like that was the big thing. We're kind of getting the Valiant Knight had a little bit more range than what
Yeah,
we were used to. It's still single jointed, but it had a little bit more range. But now we're seeing we're getting serpent bodies, female and male, and then a furry, 1.0 scale body, and then now a furry ogre body. Dude, they're gonna go
yeah,
off with these. Like, just imagine what they're
yeah.
gonna cook up, because they're gonna get their money's worth through these molds. So we're gonna get a lot more, animal like humanoid characters. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And look at those soft goods, man, dude. Like I had a double take, honestly. Like the way it's folding, like honestly thought it was plastic, but like the way they're like sculpting that and folding that with the little, little attachments here on the shoulders, they did such a good job, like creating that look of, that like regalness of that cape.
And they got a tail too. That's sick.
Yeah, yeah. Again, not doing head articulation in the jaw, but more wanting to create head sculpts, right? You got the relaxed face, you got the kind of,
Snarl.
snarling, and then you got the roar face, man. And
Do the roar.
I love that, man. And so this is really cool. And this guy is massive. That's a big figure.
Yeah, because ogre, dude. Because on top of it being ogre scale, he looked. I think just because of the size of his head, he's like beefy. He's like a beefy ogre. Because the ogres that we previously gotten, like Kurzog, they kind of have tiny heads, and so
Hmm.
this just looks like a monster of a figure.
Yeah. They did also mention that the mane is articulated. So you can get him to look up and around. It's not just kind of stuck on there. Like there's multiple pieces to it that allow for the articulation, man. So just again, these guys, Eric Treadaway, man, is a freaking goat, dude. Like that guy just makes good aesthetics, good toys. I love him, man. All right, let's keep it going here. So to wrap up here, those 7 figures going to be $320. That's going to be the Four Horsemen price for the pre-order if you go to fourhorsemen.com. Sorry, storehorseman.com. That pre-order period is going to run from November 8th all the way until December 29th. And this is interesting here. And we've kind of been seeing this trend here, but they did say that these figures, when sold at like shows or retail, will be price matched with the retail price. So gone are the days of that, like going to a show and getting it for, the store horseman price. At shows, they are going to be soliciting these at the retail price. And again, that's just for horsemen understanding their relationship with their retailers and trying to support them. Right. It's not like they're just trying to get more money. Like they understand the relationship they have with those companies, Big Bad Toy Store, all those friends. They are going to be increasing that price at shows as well to match that. But What that tells us, though, on our end here, if you pre-order them, that's a savings of $125 off.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And I'll tell you why. Because you're right. It's about preserving relationships with their retailers, but
Yeah.
that's choosing the retailers over the community, I think. The reason why I think it's such a blow, and it's not a blow to me, right? Because I'm a person that always gets all in. But I
Mhm.
think if there's going to be drawbacks in expanding and growing the community, because the way I discovered Mythic Legions was I was at Megalopolis and they were there as like vendors. I didn't know who they were, and I was like, this is an amazing toy. This looks cool. I don't know what this is. I'm not buying it for any other reason because I like it, and I bought it, right? And so
Yeah.
people that are just walking at the shows and they're at the shows and they see Mythic Legions, when of course there's going to be people that are going to buy that price point, but just I think keeping it at that lower price
For
point they
Horseman.
had,
Yeah.
it just gets more people to buy figures for their first time, even if they didn't hear about Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions. And now that's kind of it's going to be decentralized with it because if you think about this, they're thinking, oh, we're trying to preserve our relationships, maybe we'll make more money with the retailers. But think about this: because I was there at that show and I bought that figure, I have gotten every single all in since Aether. So think
Right.
about how much money that just from that show, from that one figure that I got entered in. I bought a $25 army builder because I was like, hey,
Yeah.
it's $25, right?
Yeah.
And now the prices are going up and up, and it's going to be harder for people because once you get that, once you open a Mythic Legion figure, they have you. Like it's that good. Once you grab one, you smell it, you feel it. Honestly, it's the feel. When I first felt Mythic Legion's plastic, I was like, this feels different. Like this does not feel like a normal figure, and I feel like that's gonna kind of decrease the community growing. I don't know from my
I,
perspective.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Like the buy-in is a little higher, right? So less people
Yeah,
are going to take that chance and be like, oh,
exactly.
okay, it's a $40 figure. Maybe I
Well,
get it.
no, it's not gonna be a $40 figure. This is a
Right.
$40 figure in the
That's true. That's
pre-order.
true. So it's
That's what
like
I'm
a
saying. This is gonna be
$45 figure.
kind of a more, way more than that. It's probably gonna be up to $55, $60. That's what I'm saying.
And people are going to be more hesitant to try that out.
Right, because you don't know what they're about, maybe. And like I said,
Mm-hmm.
when I first bought, I was like, I'm just gonna go with the $25 perfect entry point, $25 army build.
But let me counterpoint you. Are they not established enough in the toy community?
They are, but I like the thing is the shows. Like the shows is where
That's
you
true.
get
The
randoms.
show,
Like that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
that's why I always felt like you can have the retailer price, but the shows is where you get these random people. Like maybe it's just an anime fan,
new
and he
people.
grabs the Mythic Legions for the first time and he picks
Mm-hmm.
it up, right? And to get him at that cheap entry price point that we were getting, I think it's going to affect the new collectors, people that are not familiar, maybe not even collecting action figures.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
And so, like I said, I just think it might do more harm because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
think about me. Like I said, every single pre-order since Aether, I've gone all in. They've probably gotten over $10,000 from me
And
just because I picked up one figure.
that's direct money to them, right? They're not having to pay
Exactly.
for
So it's like,
anything else.
and they're kind of choosing the big corporations over kind of, I guess, growing the community a little bit. I don't know. That's the way I see it as
Okay,
just from my perspective,
that's
because
fine.
it's like I just like keeping
I
those
think,
show prices. I feel like they should have kept it.
yeah, I think you have a definitely a specific experience that you had
But
with
I
your
think that
entry
goes
into
like with like a lot of people. That's just not my experience,
no,
right? That's like how a
I
lot of people got introduced to
yeah,
Mythic Legions, just
yeah,
walking past the show
yeah.
and you see their display, you're like, what the heck is
I mean,
this?
if I was not familiar with Mythic Legions or collecting, and someone who's a fan of 300 Rise of an Empire,
Right,
Rise Son of Rome, I
right.
see that Roman figure. I'm at let's say I'm at a convention. I see that. Dude, that's tempting. And if that figure was 35, 25, oh,
Well, no,
that's
the 40. Let's just say it was the 40, right? Because the 40,
okay.
that's
The
what I
40,
wanted to say at 40.
the 40. Yeah, no, I
You might
mean
buy
that
it.
I picked that up. I picked that up. Like looking at that figure, I don't know anything about it, but I love the Roman aesthetic. Yeah, I
Right.
picked that up. But if you start increasing that, it does get harder for people to be like, yeah, I
To
love that.
take that chance.
But yeah, do I take that chance on
Because I'm
something
not
I don't
saying
know?
that these figures are not worth 60. In
Correct.
my
Correct.
book, they are. But I think
Yeah.
people don't know that until they get one in hand.
Right.
And so that's why I want everybody to get the opportunity to get one in hand, especially when you're at that show,
Mm-hmm.
because then you go home and then you don't even think about the retailers. You just go direct pre-order.
Yeah. And maybe hopefully we continue the trend of Legion builders, which get us in at that lower price point. They're not named characters, but you get a figure in hand. And, maybe that will be their saving grace. But I think Mythic Legions as a brand is pretty established within the toy community. But I agree with you that it is going to hinder them getting in new, unsuspecting
Yeah,
fans.
it just sucks for the people at the show because it was nice to go to the show and
That's,
pick
I
up
mean,
a
that's
couple extra fakes. Well, we would go to the shows
yeah,
at FanX, and it was always nice to get. Like
that's the only reason I
I
went.
went to FanX this year, and I picked up who was it? I think Belualith, and just because I didn't, my order hadn't shipped, and I was like, screw it, I just want to get this in hand now, and I can use the other one for custom fodder, and I bought it right then because it was only. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like I think like a $3 increase. They bumped it up a little bit. It was
Yeah.
not much though. But on a positive note, though, this wave, I love that this wave. Because whenever they do Legions Con, it's always a massive wave, and I feel like lately for these past few Legions Cons, they've been massive waves, like $500, $600 waves. Each time Legions Con was getting bigger and bigger. Like Aerithia was the biggest. Then it went to Poxus, was massive.
Then Rising Suns.
Yeah, Rising Suns, and then what I was thinking is like a lot of it was a lot of reuse, and there was like some new things, and so it was more like you're buying more of the same. But this is like the exact opposite, and I love that. It's like everything here is like almost 100% new sculpt. Like I see barely any reuse. If you can even find any, maybe like a couple gauntlets and shin guards and a couple waist capes, but it's just all new, all so fresh. This is just makes I think everybody's excited just for how much like newness there is, and then to get like $320. That's a good price, man. That's a good price for the all in.
That's 100% a good price. And again, the introduction of the 3.0 bodies, the snakes, the quaddles, which the male does reuse Thygar, but like again, we've talked about that. But you get then Leodicius, who's just this massive figure. You get another Jin with a new effect piece. Like I agree with you, man. This is just a loaded wave and a solid price point. Again, keeping it 6-7 figures. Get that wave out, man. And in that, I will say this, it might be attributed to what else they revealed, here, because it is their anniversary. They do have some anniversary reveals, and that's why probably they kept it at a smaller wave. But like, this is still a solid wave, man.
Yeah, I like that. It's big, not in the amount of figures you have to buy, but it's just big in the quality and the newness of the reveals. That's how it's big. It's big in a different way usually than what we usually think of when we get the big waves.
That 3.0 body, dude, is going to be
so
much fun.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
And a lot of people's gripe with Mythic Legions was like, oh, I only get single jointed arms.
Yeah.
But now, no excuse.
I'm telling you, dude, I just feel like, now this is just speculation, but I feel like the timeline of when they probably first saw this, which was years ago,
right,
falls in line with them saying, all right, we have to do this now. And then it took them, it takes a couple of years to do it.
Yeah.
I think Savage Crucible pushed them. I think they pushed them.
All right. If you could only get one from the Reign of the Beast. Don't even
ask, bro.
What do you get?
Cackler? That's easy money, man.
That was my pick too, man.
Like Cackler blows. It's not even close how good that figure is compared to the rest.
Yeah. The 3.0 body, the slenderness, the aesthetic, the look,
the name.
The hyena head, which again, that can go into figure obscure Gods of Egypt. Easy.
Space dog.
On, dude. Yeah, for sure, dude. So a lot of potential on that. Okay, if you got the Cackler, then I'm going to give it to the pride of Leodicius, the Roman soldier, man. As much as I love the snakes, and like I just love Centurions, man. I love that Roman aesthetic, and so I am going to give it to the pride of Leodicius, man. It's so cool. It's such a clean Roman look, man. All right, friends, let us know down below if you could only get one from the Reign of the Beast, let us know your top pick from these figures here. But again, $320 runs until December 29th. Get your all in here, friends, for that discount, $125. Or, pick and choose as you choose. But again, thank you for joining us today on this breakdown of the Mythic Legions Reign of the Beast. And as always, keep collecting, keep playing. May the action figure gods smile upon you. Peace.